You're good.
I'm good.
You're good. Good to hear. Where are you headed off to?
Home. For the buffalo roam. For the deer and the antelope play. For selling.
Where's the wife?
You know, fans, this afternoon the New York Yankees came into town to play an exhibition game with the Washington Nationals here at Tinker Field. And right before game time, we got hold of one of the outstanding young Yankee prospects, Mickey Mantle. And as you know, Mickey broke in 2 years ago, and he did real well the first year. He was sent back down for a little bit more seasoning. He came back last year and really starred for that team and pulled them through a tight pennant race and on through the World Series. Mickey, how does it feel this year?
Well, it feels a lot different this year, Bocky. Coming to spring training, being a regular and all that, you know, usually you don't know whether you're going to stay at the ball club or not. It really feels a lot different.
Well, in the little time you've been in training, you think you're going to be in for another great year?
Well, right now it doesn't look like I am. I haven't been hitting the ball very good.
Do you have any trouble getting that weight down after the long winter layoff?
No, I never gained any weight this year. I weigh about 189, 90 right now, and when I went home last year, I weighed about 191.
Do you do anything in the off-season, Mickey, to keep you in playing trim?
Well, last winter I worked for Mr. Youngman, H.D. Youngman of the Youngman Construction Company in Baxter Springs, Kansas, and it's pretty good work, and it keeps you pretty good shape.
Keeps you pretty tough. Huh? Game between the Nationals and the St. Louis Cardinals. We were very fortunate in getting over to our microphone one of the greatest names in baseball, Stan Musial. Stan, I guess you've held about every batting crown there is and a few pitching crowns, too. I remember back in 41 around there, used to be down in the Florida State League over at Daytona Beach.
Yes, that's right. This brings back pleasant memories because back in 1940, I played right here at Orlando and pitched here and played some outfield. In fact, at at this particular ballpark, I hurt my arm here, so...
And that's what led you to become a batter.
That's right.
Well, Stan, it's great having you back in town again, and what do you think the Cardinals are going to do this year?
Well, our chances are very well. We have a fine young pitching staff, and we have some good promising rookies in Rapolsky at third base, and Jablonski in center field, and Bill Crook first base, and I think we're going to be right up in the race along with Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. I think it's going to be a wide-open race in the National League.
Well, last week we were talking with Charlie Dressen, manager of the Dodgers, and he seemed to be more concerned about the Cardinals this year than any of the other contenders, it seems like. He said that they had what it takes, and if they just come around, well, they could give a lot of trouble.
Yes, we have all these young boys are all good right-handed hitters, and of course, along with Shanes and Slaughter and myself, for the left-handed power, well, I think we'll be in very fine shape.
Stan, getting back to when you used to play in the Florida State League, I don't know how many people are familiar with the fact that you did start out as a pitcher, and it was that injury to your arm that led you to become an outfielder, and of course, be one of the top hitters in the game.
Exhibitions for the folks. And right now, let's talk to the slammer. Sammy, first thing I'd like to ask you is, are you coming back to Orlando next month to defend your international two-ball title, which you won with Betty McKinnon last year?
Well, Bocky, I don't know. Speaking about how long Mr. George has known me, why, I'm only 29. What's he talking about?
You're only 20?
Yeah.
And he's known you for 40 years. That doesn't add up.
And I might add another thing. Don't call a Virginian a West Virginian. However, I've been in West Virginia for quite a while now. I'm beginning to like those West Virginians. They're pretty nice.
Well, you play out of White Sulphur Springs,
yes, I
don't
do,
you?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Sam, I notice you're kind of tapering off on your tournament activity. You did have an injury to your hand.
I've been trying to get my hands back in shape. However, I'm still bothered a little bit. It's not arthritis. It's something near it, but it's one of those things you don't see anything, but yet they hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like having a headache, and you look in your head and you can't find anything.
So what are you going to do this year? Sort of pick out your tournaments?
Well, I've curtailed my tournaments to about 10 or 12 the last couple of years, so I imagine I'll do the same thing. I'll play in the Masters, the Open, the PGA, the two-time Shannon tournaments, and probably the St. Paul, and a couple more.
Mm-hmm.
If there ever was living proof that champions are made and not born, it's Jersey Joe Walkett, heavyweight champion of the world. Last July 18th, before some 28,000 fight fans at Forbes Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Jersey Joe Walkett climbed into the ring against the then champion, Ezzard Charles. Not only was Walkett a 6-to-1 underdog because he was up against the champion, but also because it was the 5th time he'd had a crack at the heavyweight title. Not that Jersey Joe ever had been a pushover, not by a long shot, but as they say, close only counts in horseshoes. But the ending to the story this time was different. In the 7th round of that fight, after 60 seconds had elapsed, there was a new heavyweight champion of the world. And that gentleman is seated right across the microphone from us now. He's Jersey Joe Walkett, heavyweight champion of the world. Joe, it's really a pleasure to have you in the city. And how about filling us in briefly on what you've been doing since winning that championship title last July?
Well, Bocky, it's awfully nice to be in Orlando, and since we won the title, we've been continuously going to various orphanages and all youth institutions, hospitals and YMCAs, veterans, soldiers' camps and whatnot to try to do and tell and impress upon the boys the importance of serving God and being faithful and truthful and honest.
Well, you're certainly to be commended for doing that, Joe. And your trip here in Orlando tonight, is this just a one-spot shot, or are you on a tour of exhibitions?
Well, just a one-spot shot here in Orlando. We go to West Virginia and South Carolina, leaving Saturday morning.
You going to put on exhibitions in those states, too?
No, we're appearing there with a quartet from Camden, New Jersey, the Morning Stars.
Well, Jersey Joe, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but of course in the papers there's been a lot of conversation about when you will accept a challenge and when your next fight will be. Have you got any comments to make on that?
No, my manager has an appointment for tomorrow with Jim Norris of the IBC and the managers Ezzard Charles and Matthews and Marciano, and I imagine tomorrow will decide just when the defense will first be.